Greetings and welcome to SmartWatchTix.com. Carbonox. Carbonox is back. They've got a whole new line of watches, all updated and beautiful. This is the X-Ranger SS inside this box. It's a round one. You can see that from right here. And when you open it up, are you ready for your lifetime smartwatch? Well, it is in here. Looks like this, and here is how you can get it. Directly from the Carbonox website. The Carbonox X-Ranger is available. It's hardened to amazing military specs. It's beautiful design, and it is available right now. Got a link in the show notes for you to pick this puppy up. Inside this one now, it's got all kinds of goodies. First of all, it is really hardened. It says that they've tested their watch to the extreme conditions, and how did they fare? Well, look at this. They built a perfect watch that can withstand a 10,000-pound weight on top of it, like a grown elephant. It'll take blows from tools. You've seen that on social media, right? Temperature from very cold, below zero, all the way up to 150 Fahrenheit. That's nice and broad range of capabilities. Shock-resistant body, scratch-resistant screen, you name it, goes on and on. Inside now, this is what people have been asking for, an updated screen, the AMOLED technology that's got rich blacks, super power mitigation, so you don't use up a lot of power on the screen. This comes with a just right size, 1.43 inch. It'll work for the ladies, the men, the teenagers, and the old folks as well. It's got CBNX V4 software, providing smoother high-end user experience and so forth. Inside, it measures blood pressure, blood oxygen. It's got sleeping mode, heart rate tracking, of course. Weather that's location-based, meaning it'll monitor where you are. Social media notifications. You got Bluetooth calling in this one. You've all wanted that. It's here. And 70-plus sporting modes that you can get into as well. The technical details, 410 milliamp hour battery, at least 2 weeks of regular use in day by day. You got the different sensors in there. Look at that panda tempered glass. Scratch resistant, mic, speaker, waterproof. Uses GloryFit App. We review that one carefully, and it's a good tethering app for this one. Comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee and 30-day protection from any software or internal issues. If that happens, they'll replace your watch at no cost. Simple and easy. Inside the box now. Check it out. You got this. You're going to need this. And you need this for sure. This is the watch module itself. Now, I want to show you this up close before we dive into the full review. The band itself is exquisite. It's very nicely designed, rubberized band. The module is inside this little protective plastic, which, believe it or not, you literally have to take a band off in order to get to it. It's okay. They're removable bands, or you can just rip it off, guys, if you want to. Simple as lining the pin up, pulling it back, dropping it in the hole, and you got the band back in place. There's a charging port. Charging port? For what? Open this. You're going to need it. Inside here now, of course, is a charging, not just a wire, but a dock. A little dock with 2 pins. This will lay directly in the dock like this, and it is solid. Just like the watch. This thing is going to hug that watch and give it a good charge overnight. And look at the body on this. We'll get into more detail as we go further into the review, but wow, it is really well built. Lastly, inside this little package are some documents for you. We have a user's manual. Oh, we almost lost it. A screen protector, extra one you can put on here, and a little thank you for shopping card. Inside, you've got a QR code, and look at this. There's a nice little present waiting for you. Now, normally you have to buy one of these to get the present, right? But you watching Uncle Tix do an unboxing, so you can see it right here and figure out what that is. Also, if you're looking for a discount on this, there are great ways of getting it. First of all, sign up for their newsletter. Secondly, check to see if they've got any seasonal discounts. You know, the big ones like Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Valentine's Day, summer, winter, fall, spring, big moon, small moon. They always are putting a sale on. Here's the manual, got the packing list and stuff. Another really cool way is if you've got a friend who owns a Carbonox watch, find out if they're part of their ambassador program. They're giving literally money and watches away to folks to review them like this, or to tell their friends when they're interested in buying. They'll have a special discount coupon link for you, and you'll get the price at a discount, and of course they'll get a little benefit from having turned you on to Carbonox. Maybe that's why you're here in the first place. I don't have any new ones for you. You need to talk to your friends to get a good discount on this one. Anyway, you got the charging tips on the manual. The QR code for GloryFit is in here, but we recommend you download it from the Google Play Store directly. Look for Google Fit. You'll see the app review coming up, or just click on the link in the show notes. Some more information about it. This is what the app itself looks like, how you pair everything. You got to pair a couple of things now, the watch to the app so it can track all your data, and of course the watch like you would earbuds for being able to make and receive phone calls and stream music through the watch. But it's really, really simple. You just touch the button when you got it all set up. You can activate the phone call and get the phone pad. It's really phenomenal to be able to talk to somebody on your watch. And if you don't want to, just tap that button. It'll switch back to the phone, and you can leave your watch out of the whole thing. When you are deep in, you know what, with your watch and your life, and it's active, and you've got this ruggedized watch on your arm, it's peace of mind that you don't have to put your tools down and run and grab your phone, or dig it out of your pocket where you stuck it, you know, just to have it with you. You don't need that anymore. Just set it on the bench beside you, and everything can be done right from your watch. Are you ready? Let's go. Easy to turn on. There's two buttons. The top button, press and hold. Give it a moment, and it vibrates, starts with its opening logo, and lands you in its opening watch face. Now check this watch out. It really is gorgeous. The total bezel design, the case design itself, a lot of attention to detail on this one. When you turn it on, you got a lot of different options in here to take care of. You can slide down and get into your controls. This is the turn on and off for Bluetooth calling. It will redirect the calls to your watch from your phone if you want to. This changes the overall layout of your apps when you take a look at those. And that's a do not disturb button here for when you're going to sleep at night. This is lit up, meaning that the twist your wrist to see the time is activated. You can deactivate it by touching it. And this is your overall brightness. And I want you guys to notice how bright this is. Very easy to see outdoors. If you work outdoors, if you play outdoors, you'll get great light. Here it is at its dimmest, which is really nice for indoors or at night. So you got a nice broad range of brightness control on this one. We'll run this so it doesn't wash out on the camera too much right at that level for this review. Those are the first 5 things here. There's another dot, meaning you can slide over. You get another page. Here you can silence the watch. It's not going to make any noise. That is setting up a locate your phone if you've lost your phone. And this is a power savings mode. It says when it's on, the reminders will be disabled alongside of setting it with the lowest brightness. That's a good one to put it in when you don't want to be disturbed and extend battery life. The lock here, this is a screen lock. When you tap this and it comes back to the screen, you can't do anything because it's locked, which is great if you're going to take the watch in water. You don't want the screen kind of freaking out on you. Press and hold the button. It brings it right back to the watch face again. We were here on the second page, and the last icon is for your overall settings. Now, there's a couple of ways to get into this. This is the fastest one. When we're in here, you can tap this button, change the watch faces from the stock watch face you see here to another watch face. Touch it, and it'll get as big as the whole screen. And here's another one. I just want to show you this one. Here we go. Got the hands, and look at that. You can read the digital time even through the hands. I timed it for you so you could see that. You got some information. You got lots of bright colors on this one. You could also change the watch faces simply by, it timed out on me, by pressing and holding on the screen. It vibrates, comes back to the small size again. You can slide over and get another watch face. And this is a custom face that I installed, downloaded from the Tethering app. I really like this one. Bright white digits, really easy to see outside if you want to check the time, your battery level, and all sorts of other parameters. However, we were going through the settings. We were in watch faces, and that's where we got to all of those. This I want to show you now. It's called the always-on display. You also have themes in here. When we turn this on, it says it's going to shorten the battery life, but it hasn't appreciably shortened it for my experimentation with it, which is great. It means you can run it in the background. I'll show you that in a moment. You can choose one of two different watch faces that will appear when it's in that always-on display, and they're both gorgeous. There's this digital one with time, date, and day of the week. And then there's this really soft, kind of a orange-brown analog one that's awesome at night. It's great. You can glance at your watch, and it doesn't look like it's glaring out there. We're going to pick this one so that I can show you when you turn the time off, it goes into that mode. Now, when you activate this, it leaves the always-on mode and comes back into your watch face. When the watch face times out, it'll go back to the ambient or always-on display. Really beautiful work on this one. Now, we were in the settings. We were covering the watch faces and themes. And then the last thing we've got are the overall different themes. You've got 3 of them in here. And we switch to the second theme. And this is the same thing as the icon that we touched. We can go back into settings, into our themes, and go for the third one. And when you slide over from here, back from the watch face, now it's switched and you've got this circle that you can go around. Almost like the Galaxy Watch with its little wheel. You can go around all of the different apps here. But I like to work with the text version because it's easier for us to show you what we're doing when we're in that mode. And that's theme 1. So we'll stick with theme 1 for this. That's everything we've covered here now in the watch faces. You have the different languages available to you on the phone. There's a nice handful of them, some European ones. Chinese is in here. Maybe you see your language. I hope so. Then you've got date and time. Now, normally the date and time are picked up by the watch when you pair it to the phone. However, there's an important switch in here, 12 or 24-hour display. If you want the time in 24 hours so that after 12 noon it goes 13, 14, 15 instead of 1, 2, 3 again, you can turn that on. Personally, I prefer the AM/PM version of it. Notice it timed out on the length of time it was set for the watch to stay on, and now it's back in the always-on display because we activated that with the settings. Okay, we're going to come back in here again. After the date and time, we get to something called Sport Recognition. When you turn this on, it's going to monitor how you're walking, running, moving through space, and it will notice after 5 minutes of continuous activity, you might be in a sport. And if you are, it's going to be able to recognize that and let you know. It eats a bit of your battery to keep monitoring like that, so you choose if you want to turn it on or off, okay? Here we go, out of that one. Then you've got brightness. We showed you that already. Sound and vibration. The vibration strength is how much the watch vibrates. I like it on high personally. I want it to get my attention. This is really important. If you connect this up to the phone and you're trying to play music, which we'll show you in a little bit, the music won't play and the Bluetooth won't work unless you come into these settings and turn on media audio. It's kind of hidden, but make sure you take care of that switch there. And then finally, in silent mode, You won't hear ringtones except for alarms. So if you're in a meeting or something, you want to turn that on. You may still get the calls coming through, but you don't want the watch making a bunch of noise. Raise the wrist to see the time. You have it here, and we had it in the pull-down menu. That's easier to show you when I have the watch on. Do not disturb. You can have it set for all day if you want to leave it in that mode, or when you go into schedule, you can pick a time to start and end the do not disturb activity. Lots of flexibility there. Download app. This is the QR code you use to download the Tethering app, GloryFit. But I recommend you use the link in the show notes. It'll take you to the Google Play Store and download it from the Google Play Store. It's a lot safer that way. Same thing with the Apple version of it. Then your system, simple stuff, reboot completely restores the watch back like it's factory. Off, of course, is to shut it off. And, reboot is just rebooting, and reset is the factory restore for the watch. Be careful if you use that one. Make sure you've synchronized all the data you want to the app before you do it, if you do it. Usually you just turn it off from right here if you want to. You can also get to that by pressing and holding the top button, and you'll get a menu up that will let you do that. Finally, info gives you a bunch of firmware and Bluetooth address stuff. It tells you the device is X-Ranger, and that's what you're looking for when you pair it to your phone so that you can get all this great connectivity. And that's everything in here. We're going to turn that Do Not Disturb off. We're going to have the twist your wrist on and the phone calling on as we go to the next level. When we swipe to the right, you're getting all of your apps, and they are fun. We'll get back to those in a minute. When you swipe up, you're getting any of the push notifications coming from your phone. And you can set all that up for your text messaging or any of your apps if you want to. There's no keyboard or anything to reply to text, but you can certainly make and receive phone calls on the watch if you want to. When you slide to the left, you get, first of all, a little circle showing you how close you are to reaching your goal for your step counts, a breakdown of your steps over the past 24 hours with the total steps. And then, look at this, a summary of your weekly steps. I've been playing with it for about 3 days now. Got some good numbers there. Come over here, you get last night's heart rate broken into a pretty graph. There's more details on the Tethering app. Shows you your overall sleep time. Now, this is interesting. It was broken up. I did go to sleep early, but I got up and I had to spend about an hour on the computer doing some work for Mr. Tix on the uploads of watch faces and reviews. And so I broke up my sleep. So it picked up the second half of my sleep on that one from about 3:30 to almost 8 o'clock in the morning. Nonetheless, here's the breakdown between deep, light, awake, and REM sleep. That's your dream sleep. And so that brownish color are the times that I was in my dream state. It's kind of fun to monitor that. This next one is heart rate. It's showing you continuous heart rate values. There's the scale, 0 to 200. Your high, your low, your resting heart rate. And it's also showing you by date your average resting heart rate over time. This is blood oxygen, 0 to 100. I don't know if you saw that, but the diodes flashed on here. They'll do that when they're making the reading. Your high and your low start measuring, and that's all you see on this one. And it does an hourly measurement for you in the background. Blood pressure now, same thing. It's going to be using the diodes to measure your blood pressure. I've only done one reading today, so high and low are the same. It doesn't give you any more information there, but each time you do it, at the time you do it, you get a little bar. That's the top one and the bottom one. And how big they are is the difference between the two. And where they are is whether you have high blood pressure or low. Pretty easy. Finally, or not finally, but next, you get into weather. You've got the weather in your area. You can set it for centigrade or Fahrenheit and get an overall forecast. And yeah, it's rainy out there off and on right now. This is finally, I think. Yep, well, you can add more if you want to. Finally is the music player, and this is where I can demonstrate the loudness of the speaker and the quality of it because I have some copyright free music queued up for you. Here we go. Simply hit the play button on the watch. It activates the music on the phone. It's playing through the watch now. Check it out. There's the speaker right under my thumb. So when you have this on, you can put this up to your ear, hear the phone call that you're on or the music. It's good and loud, as you can tell, just walking around with it. Really, really nice. When you're done, simply tap the button and it'll pause it over here too, or skip forward or back in your overall song, and that's the music player. And then slide over, you get a little plus sign. This is where you can take away or add to all of these cards that you've been looking at. These are all in there. Come down and there's a couple more calls where you can, make and receive your calls. There's something in here. Or overall workouts, which is what you get to with the bottom button. I can press that button, press that one just to show you. Come back over here. There's our calls, and there's all of our workout activities. Now the workouts, including swimming, is in here. You've got cycling and walking and running, and none of those use GPS in the watch because there's no GPS module, but it can tie to the Tethering app. You got football, volleyball, you got quite a few different workout activities. Just whichever one you want, tap it and you can begin. Calls again, contacts, call history. You can bring up the dial pad, make a direct dial call. It will send that to the phone. Use the SIM in your phone to make the call. You'll hear it and speak to the person out of your watch. Really ingenious technology for all of that. Press the top button, come back to your opening watch face. Like I said, down here, the bottom button brings you up all those activities again. Top button brings you back. Long press on the top button lets you turn the watch off if you want to, and long press on the bottom button says to access the app and set up your SOS contacts. So we'll head over to the app now and show you how that works. If you have an SOS contact and you have it Bluetooth calling connected and you're in trouble, press and hold that button. The watch, through the phone, will place a call and you can talk to whoever you need to in that emergency. Really, really sweet watch. All right, here's the GloryFit app. You're looking for GloryFit in the Google Play Store. This is what the icon looks like when you've installed it on your phone. Then you can open it. You can set up an account. You can get everything connected and paired with the watch, and you land in the home screen, which gives you all of your data. You got forecast information of your weather here. When this is white instead of red, it means you're paired successfully with the watch. You have your target, distance of the day, heat, meaning calories burned, and your overall steps. This is the breakdown for the 24-hour period you're currently in of how many steps you took per hour. There's the summary again. And then you've got these different automatic activities it sensed. Walking for, 3 steps, 600 steps, and so forth. There's more. It's giving you all that information of the time frames that you're doing it, that gives you the data that goes into these hourly summaries. That's on the day. You come over to week, you'll get a weekly summary, and of course you can get monthly by week as well. All that's in there too. Then you get down to your heart rate. You have continuous heart rate on this one. You see it's running from 50 to 100-ish. Gives you a nice little chart right there. You tap it, you can see the exact reading at that particular time. You come here, you can get a deeper look. You get the same type of chart, only expanded somewhat. It tells you what range you're in currently and your current heart rate, your average, minimum, and maximum, and then the amount of time during the day that you spent in each of these different zones, which is really great. You can change and go back and see what yesterday was like. There's yesterday's chart. Today's chart so far. See, it stops where we are right now. A really nice way of presenting heart rate. Your overall sleep record now, again broken down into deep, light, REM, or rapid eye movement, and awake time. REM is there. Rapid eye movement's up there. There's yesterday, 7 hours, 10 minutes, sleep quality analysis on that one, and so forth. So you get kind of an overview of how your sleep is going too. Blood pressure record. You get in here. I've only done one. These are instantaneous. When you actually take them, it records them. Yesterday, I did a few more so that I would have some to show you. You can tap on any one of them, and it shows you the time that you took that reading. And then it gives you the individual readings themselves as well. And you can start remotely to take a reading if you want to, too, for the blood pressure. Not continuous, mind you, but instantaneous. Now, blood oxygen is continuous. And when you see little dips like this, that may mean that that's a sleep apnea event if it's happening during the night. So that's interesting. It's something that you might want to check out and see if it feels like you may have been holding your breath during that time or not. Otherwise, it's usually bouncing around in a zone between 95 and 100. This is between 97 and 100, with drops down to about 92. So that's something I need to look at. This was last night. There's the night before. Again, I'm seeing a little bit of that. This is near midnight, but not during the day. See that? So that's kind of something as a little bit of a flag that there could be low blood oxygen, and that may be happening because of some sleep irregularities. And that's all these cards. You can turn any of them on or off. If you don't want to monitor your sleep, you can turn it off there. Sports, this is your sporting activities. You can do an outdoor run, outdoor cycling. And again, as I mentioned, this can tie into GPS in the phone. You have to take your phone with you with the watch, but you hit go. It starts it from your phone. It ties in, lets you get your heart rate and everything transferred over to the data that's going to be in your total report here on the phone itself. Then device, it's the X Ranger we're working with. The battery's full. This is how you set up Bluetooth call with the watch. You can sync the contacts in your phone to the watch, enable it, disable it, all of those things. These are the different watch faces now. This goes off to a server and loads up with all the available faces. Some of these look familiar that are already in there. Some of them are extras that they have put together that they can let you download. You go so far, and then it has to load a bunch more and a bunch more. But there's quite a few different faces successfully loaded, and then there's the next batch. You have analog kinds, you have digital kinds, you have different colors. So they've done a nice job of pulling together the variety of faces that you can use. And it's in here that I downloaded the one I like. I also like this one, gives you seconds as well, but it's not as bright. So that's a nice indoor one for me. But I like ones to have big digits and whatnot for when you're doing outdoor activity. There you go, a bunch more. And it just goes on and on and on. Your custom dials, if you want to make a special one, you have that capability. And then these are the ones that I've downloaded. There's the one that I show you on the watch right now. I like this one too. This is a second hand that actually goes around and your time is there. A little bit different. All right, that's all of your watch faces. These are switches. You can turn heart rate monitoring on, alarms for too high or too low of a heart rate if you want to, blood oxygen settings for a time period if you want to. It'll do it every 10 minutes. I have it set for all 24 hours. Again, it's a balance of how much battery you want to use up versus how much data you want to get. Call reminders, you can turn this on and it'll vibrate when you have an incoming call to your phone. Text, same thing. App reminders, any apps that you have that you want to get notifications, you set that up. You can set up sedentary reminders every hour or so to tell you to get up and move around. This is the twist your wrist to see the time that you can activate from the watch or from here in the app. There's your text message quick replies. So if you have your phone with you and you want to reply quickly to a text message, you can do that here, as far as I understand. That's available. Then universal settings is kind of odd. Shake to take your pictures, hidden here in the phone. Find the bracelet finding the phone, and then you can follow the system language, or if you want to use a different language, you can set it right there in the app. You have firmware upgrade. This is the SOS call that you can set up and add the emergency phone number to. You can clear all the data and unbind the watch. And finally, there's you. You get your basic information in here. If you've registered female, you'll see that female cycle information, age, height, weight, all that goes into helping you get your data correct in here. You have a training plan that you can set up, number of steps that you want to do as your goal, a different kind of goal setting here. So that was a training plan, I guess, to go from 5,000 up to your 8,000. You have that going on. You have weekly synopsis of stuff that you've done. There, ladies, is your physiological cycle. You can set up when different things happen, and it's telling you where you are right now. And you can send a reminder. Settings is where you set your dates and the length of things and stuff like that. Third-party access to Google Fit, if you want to transfer your data over and look at it through Google. The overall permission settings. You want to go through and turn a lot of these things on in order for it to work properly. You can do those one by one. Your system settings, log out completely from your account and even delete your account if you want to. And then basic problems and feedback, which we won't really get into. But all in all, the GloryFit app is a pretty decent app. It gives you a nice way of presenting all of your information in here. And combine that with the ruggedness of the watch, the waterproof capabilities, and its long battery life. It's a really nice combination. Now back to the watch. When we slide to the right, this is where we get into all of our different apps. You've looked at some of this already. There's your step count information. Your calls from your phone connectivity is right there. When you get in here, you get the same thing we saw in the cards we went by. Contacts, call history, and dial appear there. You got heart rate, blood oxygen. Those measurements are available. The different workouts we got from the button, and also the last card we put in here. You've got blood pressure readings. Remember, we did that also. You got last night's sleep time and weather and music. So everything, including messages when we had swiped up, have all those from there on up, we've already been able to access without going into what's called the app drawer. Some new stuff are the breathing exercises here, where when you hit the start, it gives you a countdown. There are some parameters you could set up. It vibrated, and it says inhale, and it vibrated, and now it's starting to exhale. And you can change the parameters and monitor that for a set period of time that's also changeable. What I like is you can just close your eyes if you want to, because you can feel for the vibration and just follow the inhale and exhale from the beat of the vibration. That's the breathing exercise. You can set alarm clocks with this one. You have your voice assistant. Now that's either Siri or the Google wake up, that you normally do on your phone. Tap that. You can speak into your watch. The phone will pick that up and speak back its reply to you. Here's where you get the SOS activity, which you got by long pressing on here, or you can come in and tap it on the app. You set that up in the app itself. You can just tap it on the watch. The toolbox now is another whole subsidiary of things, including a stopwatch, which is down to the hundredths of a second, and it's really nice, bright white against black. And it basically, the screen is locked except for the buttons. If you tap the top button, you get a pause. Tap it again, it'll run. Tap the bottom button, nothing happens. And you can't leave it, so it doesn't run in the background. But if you pause it and leave it, come back into the stopwatch, it remains where it is. So it can be paused, and then you can come back and continue if you need to. But you basically have to exit it by turning it off, going into the pause mode, and then leaving out of there. You have timers, countdown timers if you want to use those, set at different increments, or you can create your own. A nice, really bright flashlight. It pumps up the illumination to full bright, and it's great for looking for your keys or getting around in the bedroom at night, stuff like that. Then you've got your Find Your Phone, which will cause your phone to ring. Remote camera will set your phone into remote mode, and a button will appear here so you can take like a group picture with you in it and trigger it right from the watch itself. And then finally a little calculator in here that you can put in numbers and play with and get you an answer. And it's pretty decent sized digits, and it's white on black, so pretty easy to see even in light. Those are all the apps in the toolbox. Then you got settings. We looked at that, and ladies, female health is in here. As you saw, you set that up in the app. It'll track where you are. You tap here, and it'll give you a estimation of where you are in your overall cycle. And all those are the apps here then too as well. Press the button, you're back to the watch face. So there you have it, Carbonox X Ranger. They have a strong reputation for building really solid, hardened, survivable smartwatches, and the X Ranger is no exception. It's a beautiful overall watch. It's got an excellent design, bright screen when you pump that puppy up to full brightness. I mean, it's just gorgeous outdoors, indoors, wherever you want. Nice selection of watch faces. Nice biometrics on here, heart rate, blood oxygen, blood pressure, you name it. And a really beautiful design, sturdy band. You can't go wrong with this one. The upgrade of the screen and a lot of the hardened capabilities, all the things you guys have wanted, is now included. So this is definitely a watch that's a long life one that you'll have for quite a while. It's called the X Ranger from Carbonox. Check it out.